Munworth succubus. No, I'm Ben Taylor.
I want that so badly to be true. How did you become a part of this process?
So I showed up one day. Well, actually, take it back a little bit. I met my life partner Andy DeLeon at my first TUTV meeting, and we hit it off pretty quick. We're good buddies. And he was like, "Hey, we're making this thing," and I was like, "Okay, that's pretty cool." And that's when you guys were shooting episode 3, the interior part. And my friend Huey was there, who's been on a few vlogs. I was like, "Hey, let's go work on this thing," and then we did, and I got to operate, and it was great. And I was like, shit, I want to do more with this. And then I started operating a lot and eventually sort of fell into this, director of photography role. At the end of last semester, when we had just shot all the party stuff, I was like really stoked about it. We had such a great shoot. So I put together a rough cut of episode 10 and showed everybody what it looked like with all the hidden cuts and stuff. I'm gonna make a video about that because I don't think a lot of people still realize it quite how much is in there. That's when everybody started to get pretty stoked, and I was like, I want to edit this thing. And so.
And
17 episodes later.
My God, what a beautiful job you have done.
You're sweet.
So, what has that process been like for you?
It really comes down to, a lot of the style is very much edited in camera, meaning what the characters shoot is how they edit. So for me, that was one thing, was I had to really get into, and when you get into the theory of film editing, the editor is very much, having an effect on what the actors do, and they have to get into the actor's head, but even more so in this, because literally I was trying to, especially in episode 12, which was I think probably the most challenging episode, and will turn out to be the most challenging episode to edit, was I was literally having to think about, okay, Monty's standing here with his camera, and he's kind of twitching, and when is he hitting record, when isn't he? What is going to scare him so much that he's got to turn it off, what is going to make him, keep the camera running. And then there's also a lot of the visual effects, which are some of my favorite things. Like I said in episode 10 and a few other episodes, there are a lot of hidden cuts. And I'm sure a few of you out there are like, oh, the camera goes, she puts it on her shirt or whatever, and that's a cut. I'm like, yeah, you're totally right. But there are a lot, especially in episode 10 and the party episodes. That's been really fun, is trying to make those all feel seamless. And I think episode 10 does, with the exception of one, which I still have a little problem with, I think by and large still does a really great job of seeming like this one continuous take, where in fact it was, I think close to 8 hours of shooting. Like I said, because a lot of the editing is done by the characters and by the script, a lot of it for me has really been just, polishing the timing and stuff. Obviously we don't chop up the episodes into jump cuts, John Green style, so in that regard, I didn't have as much work to do there.
So you spent a lot of time on set. What was that like for you in sort of your other capacity in this project, which was being just an everyman?
If we can't really credit this thing in a traditional way, but because we all did lots of different things. But if you were to, Andy and I would really be co-cinematographers, because we worked so closely on that regard. Mm-hmm. But that was a creative thing I did, was I set lights and figured out how we were going to light stuff and how we were going to frame stuff. And operated the camera for all the handheld stuff. It was fun for me because I love teaching, and I think I came into it with more technical knowledge than most of the people on set, besides maybe Huey and JJ, who weren't there all the time. But I got to teach everybody how to run a boom, how to run an external recorder. Even when there were a few days where I couldn't be there, I had to teach Andy and Claire how to set the lights and what the procedure was for that. So that was pretty fun.
So, Ben, do you have a favorite moment from being on set?
Oh boy.
I know, right?
The take that we got of the actual punch to fight in episode 10 was one of the most exciting moments ever for me, because that's the only take that's nearly that good, and it's so great. I think it's just so good. Other moments, shooting episode 18, I will not spoil anything, but some of the acting is absolutely incredible, and just lighting that whole thing was really fun. And then I guess, every moment on set, just goofing around with Andy. When Andy fell asleep that day, that was hilarious. I love everybody who was on the set, so it was always a lot of fun. Until next time.
So, Ben, want to join me on the floor?
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes!
Especially with the hair now.
It's beautiful. Look at you, you man. You have enough hair for both of us, because I lost all of mine in a weird hair-related accident.